Anyone skimming through the patch notes recently released by ARK might have noticed a preparation change to Astraeos, where as well as switching out the landscape material performance improvements, some updates had occurred to the new desert area, which is the 4th extension to the map to be finally complete once it reaches its 5th. But unlike its 3rd extension preparation, it appeared there was a way to get beyond the world border and check out everything that Nakatas have been up to in preparation for this. And brace yourself, there's a lot coming to this biome update. Fair warning though, this is obviously some pre-alpha beta version of what it's going to be in its final form, so take everything you're seeing from at least a quality perspective with a pinch of salt, but at least gives you a good solid insight into what you're going to get with this giant new desert area that's coming to Astraeos soon. And by the looks of it, it might be sooner than we think. So pretty exciting stuff. As we can see over there in the distance, the Scorched Earth biome of Astraeos is coming at some point to us in the future. It's not here yet, but apparently we can go over and check it out and see what it's all about. If you don't know, there's Throkis on your left, the lava island brimming with all sorts of corrupted dirt, and your King Titan. And on the right, Fokintos, or Corinthos, one of those. And if you want a scale idea of what this is going to look like against all of the other maps currently explorable on Astraeos, well, here you go. It's quite a sizable space. Not forgetting there's a planned 6th island actually over there on the east, arriving at some point after this Scorched Earth update, or this desert island update. And I'm curious, with it being a desert island, what's there to see? Is there much at all? Because, a desert is just dunes and stuff, right? Well, apparently not. So, as we can see initially, there is going to be some form of grassland. It is worth noting this is all pre the actual thing being made, open, available, so any sort of glitchy textures like that you can see over there. Let's take it all with a pinch of salt because you're not actually meant to be here, but we can come here, and I'm glad we are because, oh my god, is this Minas Tirith? He's doing it, he's going for it, the big one. This is going to be a part of Astraeos. And wow, oh wow, it's going to be quite a stronghold. Would you look at that? Giving you a bit of a scale for idea there. A Rex to the size of a door. I'm guessing the Cartus' intentions here was to make sure a Rex would fit through this initial entrance into an absolute fortress. It's so obvious by now that Nakatas is such a fan of the franchise, and I'm right there with him looking like he's gonna, as accurately as he can, portray the Golden City, full of villages, places to live, places to stay. A lot of people could be staying here. If you've got quite a large tribe, you might be wondering here straight away. This is gonna be an absolutely iconic place to build your base without a doubt. I've got to wonder exactly what's going to be up here. Got to assume we'll be seeing that iconic tree right there where the old Mad King runs off and falls to his death. I know this is so early, but even now, I'm getting very excited to see how this is going to actually look once it's available. If you don't know, we're able to go through to this area through the mesh wall, which was weird because originally in the Lemnokis update, the whole entire area was masked in cloud. We couldn't see a single thing, but here we see stuff. We see obviously a lot of work still yet to be done, but preparations all underway, giving us a rough idea of what to expect. And it's certainly not simple dunes full of rich woven pathways to venture on towards. Love that the Cartus is paying close attention to how you scale up any sort of mountain or cliffside, with one occupying a brand new building to reside within, with a nice little bridge piece of access to quite a nice looking temple already. A place fit for any ARK survivor. A nice chunk of space there, with a wonder of how this valley will all come together, but looking gorgeous. As we pass over the top, we can see what looks to be possibly a cave entrance. Could this be the next artifact cave being added to this new landmass on Astraeos? I'm gonna have a little nose in and see if there's anything at all to check out within. I'm gonna guess not. Definitely not. I wonder if there's anything loaded in. We won't know until it's arrived, but I'm gonna guess there's definitely gonna be hiding an artifact within that cave. Or maybe even a PvP cave, you know? It could be that time. It could be happening. I don't know, man. It feels very artifacty. Looming over side mountains, hills and valleys, we can see more rock formations loading in. Overlook a brand new scar. Hello, Wyvern scar. It has to be a scar. Or is it magma related? It's got to be a scar. Genesis Part 1 won't be out for a hot while. I'm going to guess this is going to be brimming with plenty of fire wyverns, interestingly. I wonder if it's just simply going to be fire wyverns. Dare I say pyromanes probably will have pyromanes. I wouldn't be surprised if they are. You know, it's a fiery biome. You've got to have fire-based entities all within it, with seemingly more cave entrances to venture through and towards, popping out to a route in and out. That's interesting. At first, if it is going to be a wyvern scar with an actual land path into it, rather than having to just simply dive deep into the scar. And this is quite a deep, long canal that seems to stretch quite far and wide. I'm going to assume there's going to be plenty of lava flowing all the way down and through there. But to be fair, Thorakis Wyvern Cove is pretty small. Maybe this is going to double up as a second wyvern area with all flavours of wyverns available here for you to nab their eggs. But overlooking a nice blend of greenish hues and yellowish, almost sulfuric looking rocks over here. I wonder if there's a bit of a Extinction vibe going on. Same similar dead trees or reminiscent around this section too, with what appears to be a maybe brand new base location here as well. A statue at the very least overlooking this new section. As we pull back against this nice blend between greens and yellows with actual Greenland, like Oasis-y sort of vibes going on over here. Obviously, you know, being in the middle of a desert, it's not going to be just completely green. It's got to be flooded with sand as well. But hello, what's hiding behind here right at the very end of it seems to be a sort of temple to exist within. Could this be an artifact cave? Could this be even possibly a base location? I get the feeling we could be seeing definitely an artifact cave within this one, and with that and the other cave location, there's possibly going to be our third and final boss being added to Astraeos with this update, which is nice to see. This might be the variant of the dragon that we're going to be seeing, and what exactly that might be, I wonder if we'll find anything teased about that as we venture on around. Keep following this wonderful Oasis lakey area, which is already looking gorgeous, looking great. I know this is very raw. You've got to appreciate it for that. I hope Nakatas isn't too unhappy about us sharing what we're seeing here, because there's lots to see and do. Good grief. As we keep floating around, we can see plenty of small plateaus to occupy to make your base locations. Keep moving on as we head out of this green, lush area into yet more sulfur fields, a few water veins knocking around, a lot of dead trees. But all nicely woven through a canyon sort of valley style as we keep heading on through. There's a lot of detail already added to this. I do wonder how close this is going to be available to be released. And hello, pyramid. Could this be yet again an artifact cave? It has to be, surely. It does support an implant elevating over this almost Aztec looking pyramid, not quite an Egyptian look, or maybe it is more Egyptian actually, because, you know, I'm thinking Egyptian pyramids are pointy, but then if you take away all of the lovely sandstone, then this is what you're greeted to, rocks being made like this with a room to venture in that, oh yes, most definitely is going to carry all manners of hell with, hello, what is this? A lovely hand-drawn cartoon supporting a bunch of different creators within the scene, a bunch of different modders in particular. There's a few names here I'm recognizing in almost a Disney sort of drawn art style. This is gorgeous. I wonder what's the relevance. Are these a lot of people that have just helped Nakatas through development and testing? Either way, this is gorgeous. I love it. Maybe this won't be an artifact cave. Maybe it will simply be a homage to other things in ARK, as we're seeing more art distributed throughout this pyramid, capturing pieces of fan art that we've seen posted in the community crunch. A few more over here. There is the always gorgeous Maguana, a wonderful comic strip. Look at that, and yet more Maguanas. Love to see him. There's Sir Drip's artwork. Wow, this is amazing. It's like a little teaser, little Easter egg, looking back at all the cool things that have been drawn by the community sitting within here. I wonder if this is exactly how it's going to look. Are these going to actually stay in here, or what? Either way, this is gorgeous. I love this. Massive statue looking upon the desert wastelands with some absolutely massive mountainous peaks to explore towards, as this wraps over this mountain here towards a cheeky little worn, torn rook on top of this mountain. Or was it possibly a lighthouse? Whatever it was, it's ruined, deformed, possibly a new base location, pushing us yet to see more dead trees that wraps all the way back around to that artifact cave. As we see yet another plateau, this seems to be a prime base location without a doubt, definitely. Look at that. That's a lovely spot for anybody to occupy, with one natural ramp that works its way up there. That's going to be a great spot for anybody to hold and claim as their own. Could this be a volcano, or could this be maybe simply another base plateau location? Either way, it's looking like another great base location up nice and elevated over here with, there we go, there's that cave entrance there. I'm wondering whether this one might be a base location, actually. I get the feeling it might be. Another temple. This has to be a base location. Oh, wow. Oh, dude. A grand location to live within, with many, many rooms either side. With how much space? Oh, a large amount of space to occupy in each and every one of these buildings. Let's have a look in this one. Same deal again. Lots of space. Massive amounts of space. All to use for something. This has to be a base location, without a doubt. This is definitely a base location with, of course, those wonderful Minotaurs. Some form of a cave base entrance in here. Who knows? But what a grand entrance to the Minotaur Palace. The Palace of Minotaurism. There is a lot to see and do. There's a lot more added to this than there was to Lemnokis prior to the map being updated. So I do think this is a lot closer than we think to being released. I thought we wouldn't see this until maybe late or early next year, but maybe we might see this maybe even next month. I don't know. I'm feeling like there's quite a lot's been done to this so far. We can see here on the beaches there's a wonderful natural staircase moving up to a guarding statue of someone ready to fire out an arrow, and not really offering a base location. But if we keep following this river inland, you can find a nice cheeky cove offering most definitely a base location, a plateau that runs all the way around, which, yeah, it's a moderate space up here, but you know, cave is cave with only water access. Pirate ship Cove Wanderers, this could be certainly one for you. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Yeah, with seemingly a lot of sea spaces to explore over here, we can see a heck of a lot. You can see quite a giant canyon, deep sunken canyon void there. Anything telling within the sea that we haven't seen before? I know it was mentioned some form of Atlantis was being considered at some point. Whether that's actually happening yet or not, we don't know for certain. Another cave just over here on the far western side of the desert. There seems to be a cove to venture in towards. I get a feeling this is going to be something similar to maybe like the Raasclark base with a giant watery entrance. God knows what the space will look like inside, but yeah, definitely a new base location sitting right under there. Just explored a little bit more and we found where these two golden statues are here, which, to offer some idea, some scope, is below this mountain here. We can see along this river, we can see what looks to be possibly an entrance and most definitely planned to be an artifact cave, because as we venture on through down here, through the darkness, light appears to illuminate us to a gorgeous looking cave. Look at this, with a staircase flowing down, broken, abandoning. And we'll try and follow the route, I guess, as it's intended. Is there most definitely is pits of death below us there. Don't want to fall down there as we are following this path around to find a route down. We can see pillars to jump to, one certainly to jump to over here. It seems to wrap even further down deep into the Margamora. A few little glowy paths opening up. This moving back into the main room. No, this is not. This is a different room altogether with an oasis to explore, full of God knows what dirty dangers. And more ambient as we keep on diving. Possibly a death pit here. I'm gonna guess it is. It's just darkness. And a jump to carry across, with then elevation up these old ruins. Which may be, this may be where the artifact is then, right here. This could be your path to getting your next artifact. Looking great though, honestly, looking absolutely gorgeous, mate. A little bits of cheeky greenery parading the sea entrance areas as we work our way to a Nile river flowing right through to separate the desert and the cliffy outlooks to these dual mountainous peaks to ascend onwards through. We can see one over here, quite a rocky outlook with plenty of base locations elevated. Like, Nakatis has always got a keen eye for flat locations, but blended well to make it not look just specifically flat for being flat. A giant, vast amount of desert right here overlooking this area. A few oases to explore. You can see a valley here. This isn't what I think it is. Is this where Aragorn and some of the Fellowship go to fight the ghost? The ghostly encounters, the ghost army in Lord of the Rings? I think it might be. It really does. Is that possibly a plan? Or is it just simply, you know, just, I guess, a way to create a valley to offer a bridge to cross? I do wonder. Could we be on the money there or not? Nice flat spot there to work with as well, but plenty to occupy as a definite solid base location contender. This is gorgeous. This is truly gorgeous that I almost feel bad that I'm spoiling this. But a little bit more water out further back here. This is looking gorgeous. I really did wonder how on earth Nakatis was going to deliver this, because there's a risk of just sand looking like sand, and that's about it. What is this? It's a pit that delves deep. But deep into where? Oh, an extensive cave system. Look at this. Which has already been filled. Oh, there is stuff to explore. Ventured into a deep mine. Sandy mine. Is it a cave? Is it a base location? Is it an artifact cave? Of course it's a cave. And there are spaces within spaces under here. Wow. It feels almost a bit too, like, bobbly to be a base location. Obviously there's an area here not completely done prime base location here with 2 elevated areas separating it. There's a lot to see down here, dude. This is quite an extensive cave location. And I've got to think, if the Dragon Boss, or the variant of the Dragon Boss, is going to be added with this update, with a wonder on exactly what that is going to be, my guesses are still placed on it being possibly a Hydra looking 3-headed Dragon Boss. That would mean there would need to be 4 artifacts if it's going to be comparable to the Dragon Boss. So maybe this might be an artifact cave. Possibly. I mean, either way, on PvP, they're going to be happy about this because, you know, that's not a problem for those people on those servers. There's a lot of different ways into that area. You can go either that way or maybe down, straight down there. Or maybe that'll be blocked up entirely. Either way, that was a nice surprise to wander into. Can't wait to see it all in the flesh, guys. This is great. Perhaps it's from some bias, fanboyism, I don't know, but I do believe Nakatis' maps are by far some of the best you can find on ARK. In fact, if you forgot his previous map that he originally released premiumly to ARK Survival Ascended, Svartalfheim is due a giant new update. And in response to a fan's question, does seem to be dropping within the next week or two. So maybe we might see this final Astraeos update a bit later than we thought, or perhaps Nakatis has done the groundwork that he needs to before passing it through some quality control with wildcard before passing it back to him, and in fact we won't see this until the new year. Either way, it's looking pretty hot, it's looking pretty good already. Arguably the biggest map in ARK to play on by far, with an even bigger section being added to it on top, and yet again something more. But it does seem that this map extension is going to be the one that adds that final third boss that unlocks all of the dragon techgrams and of course new artifact caves to check out. I'd like to see, a lot to do, very excited to check this one out whenever we get to do that. Until then, I guess I might be checking out Svartalfheim pretty soon, so until the next one, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.